What's up, music creators? This video is for the beginners, learning how to make a song in Logic Pro 10. And this is like really beginners. If you look at this and all you see are black keys and white keys and they mean nothing to you, you're in the right place. So let's jump right to it. Logic Pro 10. You don't need a keyboard. This thing's $100, easy to find. If you're interested in making music, you might want to invest in one. You can find keyboards used. It's just a USB MIDI keyboard. So makes it easier. So let's jump right into it. We'll start out with a software instrument. That means that when we're using our keyboard, it's going to trigger software instruments in the computer. Go ahead and hit create right now. It's this little piano thing, cool. But we're gonna start out with a electronic drum kit. And let's go analog circuits, that's a fun one. And let's set our, see this little 120 up here, that's our tempo. And if the faster that is, the higher that is, the faster the song is gonna be. The lower that is, the slower the song is going to be. So, if we're at 120, let's go ahead and click on our metronome here. Listen to it. Okay, cool. Okay, let's try going 140. A little faster, right? But I'm going to go 90, slow it down a little bit. We're going to start out with a drum beat. Cats, boots, cats, boots, cats. We go basic. We're going real basic. We're going to make something that's easy to make and it's still going to sound cool. So if you hit next to M, I forget what you call these things, greater than, less than, you'll see that it kind of skips by measures. I'm not going to explain what measures are. That's another class, but you can see it jumps. So I'm weird. I like starting at 2, the second measure, rather than over here at 1. So go to 2. I'm going to hit R to record. Boom, recording. Making this easy, just hitting the bass drum on every other downbeat. Okay, so I'm going to double click this little green section. It's called a MIDI region. Double click it. You can see down here all of our MIDI notes. I'm not going to explain what quantizing is. That's, again, another class, but I will show you kind of how to use it. So I hit that bass on all the downbeats. We're going to click in here, select all, hit Q. That'll line up all the beats perfectly to the tempo. Nice. Cool. Now let's add in a snare drum. So we're going to go back to 2 again, hit R. It's going to count in 4 before it actually starts recording. And I'm going to add the snare now. Okay, that's cool. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna use these little bracket things again. Not brackets, the greater than, less than. And go to measure 4. I'm gonna chop it here because we only want 2 measures right now. So that's 1, 2. So now we have, nice. Okay, remember I showed you how to quantize it. We're gonna double click, oops, double click, click down here, click Command, hit Command A, select all, Q to quantize, boom, there we go. Start that over. Okay, now, this is a very generic beat, but let's add in our hi-hat. So if you're using one of these little guys, there's probably an octave switch. If you hit up and down, it changes things. But this key right here, so see 3 keys, the first of the 3. And I'm going to hit record. We're back on measure number 2. And I'm going to hit every other. That's on the upbeat. Don't need to explain what that is. We're going to keep moving. I'm going down here, click, select all, Q, boom. Q quantized it, it all lined up perfectly. Now we got a drum beat. Okay, I actually not a fan of that hi-hat, but that's okay. I clicked on it, I hit L, boom. Now it's looping forever. We're making a 4-chord song right now, okay? So I'm gonna click down here, double click. You can also hit this little plus and it takes us through all that, but quicker is just to double click, double click, double click. Yeah, see? New instruments, but we don't need all those right now. So I'm hitting delete, delete, back to our piano because that's what's standard, but we're going to go over here. If this on the left side isn't open, your library, up at the very top left on Logic, library, we're going to come down to synthesizers, bass. I like to just kind of click around. Yeah, yeah. Nah. All right, let's what's that? Ooh, yeah. There we go. Okay, there's our basic 4 chords. So, without getting into too much music theory, this is an A, but as long as we hit the white keys as the most beginner of all beginners and not learning music theory at the moment, if you hit white keys, you're in the key of C, you're not going to hit the wrong note. We're going to hit this one. So if you see the 3 black keys, hit this one. And then we're going to skip one, go down. And we're going to come all the way up here. See there's 2 black keys. Boom. And then right in between the first 2 we hit. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so bass line. And I'm just going to boots, cats, boots, cats, boots, cats, boots. That's what we're going to do. All right, ready? So again, use our little greater than, less than. Go over to 2. Make sure you can click on different tracks. We're going to click on our bass track. Hit R to start recording, and it's going to be a 4 count on the way in. And get ready to. Okay. And you know what? And we can make this even easier. It's going to go bam, done. So the magical thing about MIDI is that we can record, hit a note, and then record over it, hit another note. So, recording. Look at that, that was easy. I only did it for 4 counts. Okay, so let's start recording again. Let's go over it, we're gonna hit the next note again. But I'm gonna keep going this time. Boom, look at that, perfect. Okay, now that, because we did 2 different recordings, we can select both of those, hit Command J to join them together. Come down here, we have this open. If it's not open, you can double click, boom, click, select all, Command A, hit the Q to quantize. It's cheating, but whatever, it's cool, that's what we do. And then, we're just gonna, while this is selected, hit that L, it's gonna loop. Now we've got a bass line. We'll kill the metronome. Always sounds good. My velocities were a little bit all over the place. If you, when that's red, you can see it's red, the note. If you come down here, this 127, that's velocity. It's a little hot. Think of this as loudness for now. That's how hard you're hitting. Changes more than just the volume, changes the impact also, but turning those down, turning this one up a little bit, make them all kind of the same. Cool, all right. Nice. All right, So open up a new instrument. Now, maybe let's get like a pad. A pad is like a, it's soft stuff. So, I double click. Remember I showed you that? If you double click, it'll open up a new, double click in this gray area. It'll give you a new instrument. Let's go again. If your library isn't open, up here at the top left, you can open it. And synthesizer, pads. See what Ghost voices sound like. I'm going to hit octave up on my keyboard so it's a little higher. Let's try glistening dust. Something a little softer. Ooh. That one's fun. It's a little too soft. Infinity strings? Ooh. Okay, we're going to come back to this one. So actually what we're going to do is I'm going to come over here, double click. You can drag your tracks around. I'm going to drag this new one up. Let's come back to synthesizers. I'm going to save this other sound for later. Let's come back over here, synthesizers, pads. Let's try rain clouds. Let's try a couple more. Ooh, that sounds cool. All right, so starting back at 2. If you want to start at 1, you can. That's cool, but I just like having some work area up in front. All right, so starting back at 2, we've got our recycle pulse sound under a synthesizer, pad, recycle pulse. I'm going to hit R to record and play the same thing. It's pretty soft, but that's why. Okay, so this is volume for your track. So let's, I want to turn that down. Let's turn our bass down a little bit so we can hear our pads. Turn our pads up a little bit. And you know what? Let's do this. If you hit this S, it'll solo your track. Start back over. Solo means that's all you hear is that one track. Let's hit these harder. I select all. Bring up the velocity. Alright, let's try this again. Okay. And we're going to start the song like that. With just that. I'm going to hit this S again. Click on this green stuff. And drag it over. Okay. Do that same thing with our drum beat. Down. Okay. And then let's click on the green stuff for our recycle pulse pad. Click on it, hit L. Now it's looping forever. Cool. And here's, listen to our song. Let's go one more time. Okay, I want a new instrument to come on there, so I saved this infinity string. That's under synthesizer, pad, infinity strings. Boom, because I go forever. No, because that's just, because it's rad. It's infinitely rad. Okay, so I'm over here at measure 14 or bar 14, whatever you want to call it. You can see up here, it says 14 when I click on it. And if you really want to see how I'm looking at it, I think of it as a grid. So you can see each time this repeats, we got 1 for the intro, and then 2 here for it to kind of build up a little bit before we add in our next instrument. So I'm gonna I don't know, probably play the same thing again. It's just layering. Octave up. Maybe we'll do that later. So I'm gonna hit record, starting on 14. Boom. Just play the same thing. Okay, cool. We're gonna double click this. That's not open. That will open that up right there, our piano roll. I'm gonna click in here, select all, hit the Q. Boom. Let's bring this one up a little bit. Velocity I showed you earlier. Yeah, let's see what it sounds like. Okay. And let's loop this once for now. Let's soften this a little bit. Ooh, I had an idea. Okay, we're getting deep with you guys right now real quick. So I'm going to, let's pan. Left or right? Let's go left. We're going to come down here. Actually, undo. I'm going to click, single click on infinity strings, duplicate with Command D. I'm going to pan this one over to the other side. With that selected, I'm going to go up an octave. Start back at bar 14 and hit record. Play the same thing. Alright, let's loop that. Yeah, let's just loop them forever. Why not? Okay. Sounds pretty cool. So it's starting to sound good. So what I did was I panned the lower instrument to the left, the higher pitched instrument to the right. By the way, if you don't have one of these keyboards, you can hit Command K, and look, now you've got musical typing on your computer. Cool. Okay, so back over here. Let's listen to it for a second. Okay, nice. Let's close that. We don't need that. I'm going to double click, new instrument, and we're going to go for a lead this time. So we have our drum beat, bass, and our pad. That's kind of like our rhythm section. That's how I like to think about it. We'll go lead. And like I said, this is the part where we get really creative, come up with some kind of a cool sounding melody. And as long as you hit the white keys, you're in good shape. So we're over here on lead. Try elastic lead. And that's kind of fun. Not gonna mess with that. That's another video. Let's see here. Let's find one. See how that sounds. So I'm gonna come back over here. Let's go to 14, hit play, and I'm just gonna kind of mess around. And our first note was, remember? Our first note was this one. We got 3 keys. It's F line. Okay, so maybe we start there for our first note, but I'm just gonna mess around. All right, let's come back over here. And so I'm literally, I'm starting on that one note, but I'm just kind of just feel it out. Hit play. Look how you got it. Everything sounds good. Okay, let's come up to something. Let's record that. I'm gonna let this play. I like to let it build up a little bit. So here we've got our pad, and we've got our pad, bass, and drum beat. Then we've got other little instruments coming in. All right. We'll let that play through. Let's try once, and then I'm gonna hit record. And this filtered saw lead instrument happens to be one. It's not a poly. It will not set up for poly notes, as in you can only hit one note at a time. If you go to hit another note, it only plays one at a time, which makes for cool sounds, Pretty cool. Okay, so, but I like to hit the next note sometimes before letting off the note before, and that kind of helps smooth it up to that instead of, so play with that. Okay, that sounded all right. I was a little bit off with the timing there, but that's why we quantize. Okay, so, again, if your piano roll is not open, just double click that MIDI region. Everything's selected by default, but just to be sure, I like to click down here, select all, Command A, hit that Q, and if you weren't too far off, then it's going to be okay. Let's listen. Okay, so to make this loop properly, what we're going to do is use our little greater than, less than, and we're going to get rid of this section right here. For that, we're going to hit Command T. Okay, click up there, Command T, and we are going to do split for now. Again, not getting too far into it. Delete. Click, L, boom. Now we've got a melody with our rhythm section under it. There we go. So I'm going to change the melody right here. Now if you see on your mouse, if you move up just a little bit, right towards the top of it, you see that little circle with the bracket thing. Click, you can drag around to choose how long you want to loop it. I'm going to loop it just to there, and then I'm going to change up the melody a little bit. So let's play this. back over here. I'm gonna go bracket, bracket, okay. That sounds kind of cool. Alright, let's do that. Split. Remember Command T, cut, and splitting off that section right there. That way when we go loop, it'll fill our grid properly. That's bad timing. I'm being sloppy right now. Sorry. It's quantize. I already showed you how to do that. But it's, come down here, select all, Q, boom, quantize. Okay, that was good. I need to get this off. So if you look at your little MIDI notes down here, over on the right edge, you can drag them. And I'm going to line it right up on that little grid mark right there. That way, when I let go of the note, it'll come down to this bottom one at the correct time. All right. All right. Now, I'm kind of showing you the tools you need to come up with something on your own. You can play with this as much as you want. You can bring this up here like I showed you before, shorten that loop to there. And then, let's get rid of the bass and the drum beat. We'll start this back over there. I hear a drum beat coming back in, so here, check this out. Gonna get a little deep for a second for you newbies. Just gonna bring this back up here like that. Okay. I'm going to use my little greater than, less than. I'm gonna come right there in the middle, hit Command T to trim. I'm gonna loop that a little bit less. Now I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to trim it there too. So now we've got 1, 2, 3. And what I'm hearing is getting rid of, I'm going to click on this here. I'm going to get rid of the bass hits. That is 2 bass hits. See what that sounds like. Let's do it again. Get rid of that bass hit. Let's come over here and all right. So got our bass hit, hi-hat, snare, and I want to move it. I'm going to move this. Make sure you don't hit the right edge of it to drag it, or the left edge. We're going to grab it from right in the middle. We're going to move it back over here on top of our snare, so it happens at the same time. Now I'm actually going to move it up to that open one right there. Alright, hope you can follow that. Play, have fun. That's what I'm doing. Alright, then we just gotta bring the bass back in. So I'm gonna loop it. I'm gonna use my greater than, less than, trim there, shorten the loop there. Bass came back. Oh, but you know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to Watch this. That's what I'm going to do on the way back in. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. On that last fourth one, I'm going to just hit it 4 times. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I don't like the infinity strings. Oops. Loop, loop, trim, then unloop it there. Softer. If you have a pitch bend on your keyboard, use it. All right, so pitch bend. So I'm going to start with it low and bring it up. So I'm going to use my little greater than less than. Go right to the middle. Okay, and make sure it ends on the thing, on the measure. If it's too long, dial it back or make it longer and trim. Boom. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go right back to this lead, select it, copy, make sure this track, your filtered saw lead or whatever lead you chose is selected. Use your little greater than less than, and then Command V for paste. See what this sounds like. That's not good. Let's go back to this one. I already showed you how to paste it. Boom, there it is. All right. Sorry. I'm gonna go one more layer deep with y'all. Copy. Showed you how to do this already. Paste. I'm gonna drag our piano roll a little bigger. Come down here, select all. If you hover this, you can see pitch says A2 without explaining what that is. You know, that's pitch, whatever. But we're gonna, like I said, select all. This is A2 that I started on. I'm gonna drag this up to the next A. A3, because 3 comes after 2. Okay, so let's see what that sounds like. Let's get crazy. We're going to end the song now. And, you know, you can take this as deep as you want. We're just going something simple for now. I'm going to shorten all of these. The other thing you can do is select, use that. Command T, trim it, and then delete. I'm going to copy. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to hold Option, click, drag out of lead, bring it up to this pad, to our recycled pulse. That's how we're going to end our song. Let's drag a drum beat, just 1/4. I'm actually going to go to the drum beat. After I dragged that out, I didn't like that extra little hit, so where are we? Come on. There we are. Scared of that hi-hat. Let's just finish it off. We've got a song. So I like to do like build up, some soft stuff, hit it hard again, drop it off, you know, make it fun. So let's click right here to close our piano roll, double click, and scroll all the way to the end, drag this little guy over. You can do that in a couple different, you know, in a couple drags. It's a little annoying. If you come all the way up here to the top right, you can zoom it all the way out. That's a little zoom in and out. Cool. All right, and then you can drag this over. Give it just a little extra breathing room there at the end, because when you hit that last note, it trails off for a second. You don't want to kill it. Don't kill that note. It's kind of fun. Don't kill the note. Let that note live. Here we go. Boom. That's a complete song. So the last step for something like this would be to do some kind of cheap mastering. Not going to go deep into this at all. You can hit, oops, not M, X, and you can see these are all of our channels. Not going into all of this right now, but over here, second to last says stereo out. It also is over here, right next to it. If I hit X again, it's been here the whole time. This is your stereo out. This is actually where I normally do this, but you can do it over there and, you know, settings, whatever. That looks scary though. So here we are, stereo out. We're gonna hit settings. We're basically gonna add something to sweeten the sound up a little bit, so to speak. It's gonna add a compressor. Things that are a little bit quiet, it'll bring it up. Too loud, bring it down. It's gonna adjust our equalizer and just give it a little bit more punch. And try a few of these. You know, if you click on classical, you can listen to it. Click on do it again, hit broadcast, it'll change every time. I personally kind of like the sound of broadcast ready. It gives a little bit of oomph to it. And there it is. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to show you how to bounce. Some of you, if you're in the video world or work with other programs, maybe Photoshop, whatever, you might be used to the word export. But bounce is pretty much how you take your project and turn it into like an MP3 or a WAV file into an actual file that you can listen to outside of Logic. So we're going to click here in the blank space. We're going to go Command B as in boy or bounce. If you want an MP3, you can select that. Just use the default settings for now. You can get deeper into that at a time. I only do PCM, wave, that's high quality stuff. Not getting into all of this right now. Hit OK. Oh, you know what? Let's bounce real time so we can hear the song from beginning to end while we're bouncing. Save your work. Before anything, let's go File, Save As. Music, Logic. Let's go YouTube vid folder. Always put it in folder. And let's go basic easy one. Cool. Or give your song a name. Save. Now bounce, Command B. We're going to bounce in real time so we can show the whole song in the video. Hope you enjoy it. Basic easy one, basic easy, boom. Here we go. Boom. That is a complete song, my friend. So this isn't exactly the workflow that I would do for making a new song. There's another channel that I exclusively make music for, and this is not exactly the way that I do it. This is just a way to help you get started in Logic sooner than later, and kind of give you the tools. Sorry, have you ever had these from Costco? Peanut butter pretzels, dude, they're freaking good. Just giving you the tools to get you started in Logic, add more layers. I already heard a bunch of things that I do differently, layering instruments, different melodies. Just play. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment below. I do my best to comment back as quickly as possible. If you like the video, hit the like. If you want to see more of my making music videos as they're released, hit that notification bell. Consider subscribing. That's always good. And let me know if you want to see more. This is actually the first video that I've made for this channel, and I'm always making new songs for this other channel. So I'm just going to start sharing the process for making the songs that I make. And, hopefully you can find some inspiration. Hope you like it. See you next time.